If you want respect, you gotta earn it. You damn right.
We celebrating 25 years of Harlem World. Make some noise for that. We got some legendary people in the building that are going to join the conversation just a little bit later. B, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling lovely, man. You know, when you come to Harlem, it's a little sparkly up here, you know?
Like this backdrop,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
This lovely backdrop.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure, it's going to look amazing in the pictures.
I love that uptown energy, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. Well, we're going to get into some uptown energy, man. Y'all ready to get to this hard to earn? Let's make some noise one time. All right, B, let's set it off, man.
All right. We got first song.
What's the first song on the album?
Well, first off, okay, hold on. So it's 1997. What was going on? What's going on in your life? Mase is one of the top spitters. Young guy.
For sure.
Debut album.
For sure.
Pretty Boy under Diddy.
Right.
Unfortunately, Biggie had just passed.
Yeah.
So he's taking the bad boy flag on.
I think it was just a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like pressure. You coming from the mixtape era. He made a lot of noise in that space, obviously. Being with Bad Boy, which was the biggest thing in the game to be a part of at that time, right. And on the heels of Big's death. You know, this album came out later on in that year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. Big passed in March, yeah. And we get this debut album from Mase in October. So that's a whole lot of pressure. Let's see if he delivered.
Especially for your first album, right?
For sure.
I mean, you know, following Big's footsteps is already crazy, but for your first album, that's crazy. So
absolutely.
First record.
Well, the first, I do want to talk about Puff's intro because it's just
okay.
It's just hilarious that it's very Puff Daddy-like that the first thing you hear on Mace's album is Puff's voice. I just wanted to point that out. It's very, very Diddy.
What else would you expect?
Very, very Diddy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But as we get into the first joint, Do You Want to Get Money? So this is not our first time hearing Mase. Like I said, he's made his rounds on the mixtapes and he's made his round on features and Puff's album. So we know what the conversation is going to be about. It's about money, it's about fly shit, it's about young, good energy and Harlem shit. So I think Do You Want to Get Money is a great way to start the album because it feels very familiar. It's like what we've already known and heard from Mase. So I think he starts off on a real good tone.
I mean, you know, everybody, most of the time when rappers have their first album, right, the first thing you want to do is you want to address the haters, right? Folks who didn't believe in you. If you had your first album, right, God did. Right? You have your first album. Of course, you want to give thanks and appreciate the people that rode with you, right? But like, you know us. You know, when you ain't come from nothing, you petty. When you get it, you kind of petty. So you know, it's like not only do I have a rap deal, not only do I have a first album, but I'm rocking with the #1 team. There's no bigger rap label in 1997.
No, it's the Bulls. They the Bulls.
Excellent. This is why you're my partner, man.
Appreciate it. So the content is about getting money. You know, but it's like with all this money that we can make, why we hate, right? And I think that I want to start in that space because that's a reoccurring theme through the album. You know, like this song is More Money, More Problems, Jealousy, you know, breeds envy and things of that nature. And I think that Mase is getting a healthy dose of that hate coming off of the success that he's had moving into his solo project.
Yeah, I mean, Bad Boy is #1, so of course, when you're #1, you're going to get nothing but the hate. You got to also remember, Mase was the one who coined the phrase PhD, right?
Yeah. That's in my notes. I read in my shit.
I got you. So what do you think, song-wise? What do you think?
Song-wise, I think it's a dope way to start the album. I like the energy on it. And we love a Kelly Price feature.
You know how we
You know what I'm saying? Like if you knew to this hard to earn thing, a few of the albums that we review, my brother's here, what up, King? That have had Kelly Price features, we always marvel over those. We always kind of.
I mean, there's no bad Kelly Price feature.
Nah.
There's no such thing.
Yeah. She sounds amazing.
And she sounds amazing on this record.
The third verse for me, it brings it all together. You know, he kind of like culminates what the story is about and what we're going to get into on the album. It's going to be some money talk. There's going to be some hater talk. There's going to be some talk about these ladies. Right. So let's get into it. I gave Do You Want to Get Money at 8 to start. You gave?
I gave it.
I gave it,
an 8.
Oh, okay.
I'm scared now. You know, when we start agreeing, it gets nervous, you know?
Yeah, because that means I'm fucking up.
Again, for those who are not familiar with the Hard to Earn podcast, we go at it. So when we start agreeing too early, I get nervous because a storm's coming.
Yeah. Take What's Yours. Second joint on the project.
This might be my favorite beat on the album.
Really?
Yeah, if not, it's definitely second. If not first. I love this beat. I think it's Nasheem. produced this. And if anybody who's not familiar with Nasheem, I mean, you know, everything from
Hitmen heavy.
What's beef? You know what I'm saying? There we go. I mean, anyway, two.
Oh, there's some hip hop in here. Some hip hop people in here.
Yeah.
Heard y'all.
Folks in here. Anyway, love Nasheem, always love Nasheem's production, and this beat is crazy.
For sure.
Mase, of course, kills it, right? Now, here's the thing about it, right? Whether you love, you know what I'm saying, you're indifferent to a Mase record, one thing you're going to get is bars.
For sure.
Okay.
And thank you for saying that.
Absolutely. You're going to get that. That's
the purists, right? You know, especially in the shiny suit era, as we like to call it, or the bad boy era. It was very shiny. It was very glitzy.
I want to talk about this.
And it was definitely a move from the underground, the Timbs, the hoodies, the chew sticks, and shit like that. And a lot of people didn't receive it well. A lot of people were not fond of it. They thought it was fucking the game up or what have you.
I was people.
But I
was people.
You was people?
I was people.
I mean, I might have been people, but I also understood why we needed that shit too, right? I understood the balance that was necessary and how to grow the shit. And I also just like fucking good records.
Hold up, but did you understand it then, or did you come to understand it?
I understood it. I always understood. I understood why a quote-unquote chick record was made. I understood why a certain sample was used. I won't say it was my favorite all the time, but I understood the business early.
All right. Yeah, got it.
You know what I'm saying?
I understood the sampling part of it, but yes, when you sell the nickel bags at, certain age, like you're not gonna understand a guy talking all this champagne stuff and. For sure. I was talking short money, you know what I'm saying?
I love that DMX is on there. Rest in peace to the dog. Y'all make some noise for the dog.
Love this hook.
I love that DMX is on the album twice, actually.
This is the beginning of DMX.
Oh my God.
Like DMX is also one of the hottest dudes, right? And this is why DMX was popular, because you had Mase over here representing the shiny stuff, pretty boy, blah, blah. And then you had DMX represented the antithesis of all of this. Mm-hmm. This is why Get At Me Dog was it, because while those guys were flossing with the rollies, he's over there looking at the guys that robbed the guys who were flossing with the rollies, right?
Yeah, man, and this is also Mase reminding you that he's murder. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you get on this album I think is a great balance of the shit that Bad Boy needed to sell some records, and the shit that Mase came from that he didn't want to abandon. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a great balance.
But I want you to give some context too, right? Because you're throwing these phrases out there. We're a little older than some folks in here. You said murder Mase. Murder Mase is different from Feel So Good.
Very much.
So can you explain to the people who Murder Mase is?
I mean, he said I was murder. P. Diddy made me pretty. I did it for the money. And can you get with me? You know what I'm saying?
I understand the line. I'm talking about.
He said, shit, I was murdered for 6 years, seen no cream from it. Dropped murder off Mase, woke up at Teen Summit. You know what I mean? Like, he letting you know, all that street shit is dope, but let's get to this bread. And if you don't know, Murder Mase, Rest in Power, Bloodshed, Cameron, Children of the Corn, street, underground, rap shit. But
that's when we first got introduced to Mase. You know, the folks who tapped into the singles, you know, they got with Mase at the beginning of his studio career. But like Mase got introduced to us through the mixtape era. He's always been a lyrical guy, but like he was doing that hardcore Cam stuff way before the Bad Boy stuff. So he got back to that, is what my partner's trying to say.
You take dough from Mase, might as well send it back. I got thugs everywhere. Where you gonna spend it at? Like, this is a bar.
Big.
This is a bar. Like, oh, you took something from me? Well, where will you spend it? Because I got street people everywhere. The shit I spit at y'all come at one size fit all. I always thought that was just like real witty. You know what I'm saying?
Also, I love, like, this is the song that Kanye got when Kanye got the Rockefeller chain. He was on stage, and I'ma get mad more cream.
Yeah.
He took that line from this song.
For sure. Yeah. So it's part of the vernacular, it's part of the conversation, it's part of this hard-to-earn conversation. What did you give it, B?
I told you I love this song.
Oh, shit.
I love this. If not my favorite beat on the album, it's my second favorite beat, and you might know what my favorite beat is if it's not this one. But this is a 9, man.
It's a 9 for you?
9.
Okay.
Perfect
hook. Solid.
Dog sounds amazing. Lyrics. Beat is crazy. You got Nasheem. I mean, it's like an all-star run.
For sure. And just for the fact that obviously, one of the things that we do here at Hard to Earn as well is how did the record age? Like, even if we loved it in 97, how do we feel about it in 2022? This record still sounds amazing. And unfortunately, DMX is gone now. So anytime I hear DMX in rare form, it just makes me feel great.
In rare form.
You know what I mean? It makes me feel great. I gave it a 9 as well. Let's go.
We got 2. Woo!
Yeah,
it's gonna get ugly later.
I gotta start drinking.
It's gonna get ugly later.
One of us is fucking up. As we proceed, will they die for you?
As we proceed,
a crazy joint featuring Puff and Lil Kim. Another thing I noticed about this album as we went back to it, Mase had a lot of features on his debut.
A decent amount. It didn't feel like too many. It sounded good.
He had a lot though. Like, you figure obviously he had made a name for himself, but You got DMX on a couple joints. You got Diddy. You got Kim. You got
C's.
You got C's on
Hove.
the joint. You got
Hove's
Hove
on here.
You got Hove on the joint, and we'll definitely.
We're not even getting to the singers, right?
We definitely gonna deep dive that Hove feature though.
Yes,
Talk to me about how you feel about this joint.
I mean, it's interesting, right? Because around this time, this song is very much about like loyalty, right? Of course, street loyalty, and around this time, this is like money, power, respect time, like. Earning your keep, having your crew, that loyalty was very big now.
Right.
Like crews, we were, hip hop was still rather young. Crews weren't beefing like that. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of solidarity in that regard. So, it's like we getting money now. We got to watch out for the haters and watch out for the envious folks. So but the people in your circle, are they really with you? You know what I mean? So I thought that as a new artist, seeing new money coming up in the game, it's a good topic, because he has to watch who's around him.
For sure. So the thing that always struck me odd about this record is that it uses the same sample as Get At Me Dog, right? The BT Express sample. And they use in different ways, both dope records. Obviously, Get At Me Dog is what it is, and there's nothing that can really fuck with it. But I always like this joint. I think that Kim stole the show on this record.
Kim definitely stole the show. But before we get to Kim, right, one of the reasons why I think she stole the show is like, it's interesting listening to Mase because you talk about Murder, Mase was back. He's talking a lot of like, not just gun talk, street talk, right? Which right now, back then I didn't really believe as much, but like, he's also talking a lot of like get back revenge stuff, which is interesting coming 7 months after Biggie gets killed. The fact that Puff let this rock was really surprising. Cause that was crazy, that was heavy. It was very much a part of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Puff was on those Downfall records and the ad-libs and all of that. So it was very interesting that like he allowed Mase to become so aggressive streetwise, especially specifically with revenge stuff, after this.
You know what's crazy about this joint, and probably another reason why I feel Kim stole the show is that this is also the mixtape era, and sometimes the verses that we heard on the album were joints that we already heard on mixtapes, and this is one of those verses. I don't know if it was a Clue tape or,
Had to be.
Probably had to be Clue. He was running
97?
shit.
Had to be.
Mase went off, but because I heard the verse already, it was a little more underwhelming on the album.
Actually forgot about that.
Yeah. Then especially the way Kim came and you motherfucking right. I'm gonna roll my motherfucking dope. You know what I'm saying? Like her tone, her delivery, her cadence, just, let's make some noise for Kim one time. We love Kim. We love Kim. How we feel about this record though, B? Where it land for you?
I mean, it's about an 8. You know what I'm saying? Again, he got the show stolen by Kim. The lyrics, he's always lyrical, but again, like him being so aggressive and like, just not really what I want from Mase. There are records like, Niggas Done Started Something, which I love.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Incredible record.
It's those type of records where I love aggressive Mase, but like the blatant, like, what I'm gonna do to you stuff, like, I never really believed that stuff even back then. So
got it.
It's an 8 for me.
8 for you. I gave it an 8.5.
Finally, we disagree. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
But
I feel safe now.
So Neptune produced joint, like B said, third single.
Pharrell's on the hook. Folks did not know who the unknown guy named Pharrell Williams was at the time. Hook is hard. Of course, Puff is on it, talking that shit. This is peak Mase right here.
Yeah.
This Mase is bodying this shit.
If I'm not mistaken, I think this is obviously the Neptunes became more household names when they started working with Nori, but I think this might have been their first like real look with a big artist and the single and all of that.
Well, they're big.
I mean, like what they're credited. I'm not talking about like the Teddy Riley shit.
Like Rum Shaker?
Yeah.
They're on Rum Shaker.
I'm not talking about that.
Pretty big
I'm talking
song.
about like, because I think Pharrell said he wasn't allowed to be in the video or something like that.
I don't know. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Really?
Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big thing.
Pharrell
had to get his weight up. Again, this is peak Mase. He is his pen is like silk on this, man. Like
he sounds great.
He sounds amazing. It's the creamy flow, like he's bounced on it. It's the Neptune sound before we even know what the Neptune sound is.
For sure.
Right? Like, why do we like this? We don't know. You'll find out in about 5 years. Keep listening, right?
One thing I have in my notes is that it's simple, but it's effective. It gets the job done. It gets the job done.
The best songs
It's not overproduced. It's not doing too much. Mase sounds great. He sinks right into the music.
Right.
And it's simple. It's simple but effective, man. Verses is hard. The chorus is still, I don't know how it holds up as strongly 25 years later. Why you over here looking at me while my girl standing here? But I still sing it. You know what I mean? Obviously the room still loves it.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. Pearl, I feel that.
What'd you
Stop
give
doing
it,
that. Stop doing that. 9.
A 9?
9.
Oh, this guy is genius.
Big tune.
This is Bonsu Degenerates tonight. This
Big
guy
tune.
is giving out.
Big tune.
Giving out numbers. I gave it a 9 as well.
Look at that. Torae DeGeneres. Look at that.
Yeah, but we don't normally do this like this.
I know. We offer one song, but it's cool. But
I tell you what's not getting a 9.
Shit, the next song. Go ahead.
As we get into it, Love You So, Billy Lawrence. Let's let that rock actually for a little bit, Ty.
Love You So?
Yeah, let's let it rock just so that people can feel it. This shit is hard. Don't get gassed by the sample.
Wait a minute.
You know what I'm saying?
First off, this came out in October of 97.
Right.
You know what came out before this?
What?
Firm Biz. The first single to the Firm album has this sample.
Interesting.
So, I mean, we're gonna get to this. We have a special guest in the house tonight. We'll ask about this. But I'm wondering, did they intend for this to be a single? And then, you know, Foxy Nazi Nazy came out with their single. And
well, here's what I'm going to say about it. When it drops, it feels good because why? We love Square Biz. We love, you know, Rest Up, Tina Marie. We love that song. We love Oh Boy by Rolls Royce, where the hook comes from. But this record is so glittery.
So what?
Glittery.
Yeah, I mean, it's Bad Boy.
It's very
Bad Boy 97. It's called the Shiny Suit Era.
Literally it's very Bad Boy 97.
It's called the Shiny Suit Era.
But it was too much for me. It was too much saccharine.
Too much.
It was just over for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like just super cleaned up, super shiny.
It was.
I mean, Mase sounds good on it. It's a solid song, but I think that the balance that they found in making those more commercial or more appealing, mass appealing records,
right.
This one was just like extra. Like they put extra, you know what I mean? Extra pretty on it. What you think?
I think you are. I think Firm Biz affects you, man. I think you hear Firm Biz when you hear this, man.
I don't even correlate the two, honestly.
Really?
Nope.
Really? When you hear
I
this?
don't.
Wow. I felt like Firm owned this. They owned this sample, so it was interesting. You know? No.
I feel like Tina Marie owns it, but that's another story.
I think Rick James owns it actually, but
right. I'm talking about owns it as in she owned the record.
I got you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't really want to spend too much time on it. It features Billy Lawrence. I remember she had a joint with Rampage that I really liked back in the days as well. But yeah, this one is like we love Square Biz.
But Mase is killing this shit though, man. It's wild barred up, man. Like
it's what I expect from Mase though.
Yes, but it's not like Mase kills every single song. But his highlights and like you talking about, if you take certain verses that are exceptional, it's absolutely one of them. Like that's I think second or third verse. Like he takes no bars off the whole line. Like
interesting.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man.
Okay. I mean, I think he spit it down, but like I said, I just think that it was for me.
Chill with fellas that came up in it with.
Right.
Buy them all minks before December hit.
Right.
Player like Mase revoke your membership. Cause this is a baller club that without the benefits. Like that's only like 4 bars.
I mean, Mase be going.
That's 4 bars.
Yeah.
3 verses on this.
Mase be going. This is 3-verse rap. This is the 3-verse rap.
There's a lot of 3-verse raps on this.
And I'm not mad at it.
I'm mad at it, man.
I gave this joint a 7.5 though.
Wow. I gave this an 8.5.
You gave it 7.5?
8.5.
Oh, you gave it 8.5?
8.5.
Wow.
8.5.
Interesting. What y'all think? What y'all think about this?
Yeah, what y'all think?
This is our biggest. Y'all
fuck with me? 8.5?
8.5. Make some noise for 8.5. Make some noise for a 7.5. All right. The rest of y'all drinking.
The rest of y'all got whiskey in y'all. Okay, got it. Cool.
All right, let's get to the next joint. Niggas Wanna Act featuring Busta Rhymes. Let's play this one, Ty. Let's let this one ride out.
Yeah.
On one of our future episodes, we talk about, in this era, right, there were a lot of, like now it's the year or it's the time of collaborations. Everybody's collabing, everybody's doing records together. But then I think that the collaborations were way more strategic. And a lot of times artists were trying to tap into certain markets, tap into certain fan bases. Right. And I always felt like, although I understood it, it didn't always sonically sound good to my ears because I'm such a New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I had yet to travel. Right. I didn't get none of that UGK shit until I went to Texas. I didn't get none of that short shit until I went to the Bay. I didn't understand. Really? I didn't get none of it. I mean, I knew why they liked it, but that shit was not for was not for my palate until I went out there and saw it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go to New Orleans, you get a dip. You understand that shit.
Like understand, like these collabs all happened. They all, like, I agree with you. They weren't all sonically pleasing, but they were necessary for the growth of hip hop.
Oh, for sure.
And they were some fire joints, right? I mean, The World Is Filled, right? Too Short, Biggie, right? That's another joint. You got, again, UGK, Big Pimpin' was much later, but like they're still doing joints. I mean, there was so many records that
Notorious Thugs a week ago. There's tons of them.
A week ago, exactly. You know, so this record is not one of those records that I love, though.
Oh, do tell.
This is not one of those records that I love. I love the sentiment, right? I don't, you should respect women and not hoes. I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? But I think, like, there's a lot, it's super misogyny, so, like, it doesn't age well, right? It sounds like Mase is in somebody else's crib when they're supposed to be in his crib.
Right.
That's the problem with it.
I feel
if you're gonna have a guest on your album, they have to meet you instead of you meeting them. It sounds like he traveled to go meet them instead of vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds very much like a Swab House record.
But I think that's the point. The point
No. That's not the point. The point is for you to bring their audience to you, not for you to go towards their audience.
I think the point is to have something that resonates in a different market. You know, if you bring them to you, then you make a New York record and then they sound maybe out of place. But if the aim is to get players out there and perform and go out there and do shows and you touch that stage and you hit them with Play Away and they write in their home and they feel it, I think that's the goal. I think the goal is to make that move out there. You know what I'm saying? Up north, you already who you are. Is to make that move out there, is to be able to travel, especially do shows and shit like that. So I think sonically they made the right choice. For me, I'm a Brooklyn, New Yorker.
I don't think if we go to Memphis, man, we go to Memphis, we go to Alabama, we go to Atlanta. I don't think if you mention their favorite Mase record, anybody's bringing this record up. Yeah.
So, with that said, then B, how do you rate this song? Not the whistle.
That's what you hear before the bomb drops.
Not the whistle.
I gave it a 7.
You gave it a 7?
Yeah.
I think it's 7.5.
Okay, there we go. All right then.
I think it's 7.5.
It's not a great song. We both agree it's not a great song.
But I get it.
Next song.
My bad. Now we can get to, what was I going to? Niggas Wanna Act.
There we go.
Let's let that rock.
Yeah.
Is Mase and Busta Rhymes an odd pairing to y'all? No? It makes all the sense in the world.
Why not?
It's not conventional. Yeah.
So are you saying this is an odd pairing?
I'm asking.
Well, everything good is not what? I can't hear you. Wait, you think
everything good is not always conventional, is what you said.
Yeah, most good things are not conventional. But what you think this is an odd pairing, Toe?
No, I'm asking.
I'm asking you.
Do I think it's an odd pairing? I think it's unconventional.
Okay.
Only because.
So you think it's an odd pairing? Okay.
Only because of the way it's structured, right? Like Mase leads the hook, but you hear Buster undertone, and then as the hook gets to the second half, it rises up. But then it's like never any ad libs and no shit talking or a verse from Buster.
I don't understand why they use Buster the way they used him. First of all, I don't think it's an odd pairing because everybody knows Busta has a strong connection to Bad Boy, right?
For sure.
Puff is the reason why.
For sure.
Throw Your Hands Where Eyes Can See was like, that's the reason why. Puff is the reason for that record, right?
There's Victory, there's Pastor Cavassier.
Flavor in Your Ear remix was the beginning.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
There's tons of records.
Exactly. So this is not an odd pairing, but I don't understand. Like, you don't put Busta on your hook to have him under Mase. You give him the hook. Because really, like, the hook, the reason why this hook works is because of Busta.
Especially when he's screaming out, you get wild, we get wild. Like, let him go crazy.
If you want somebody to growl on your record, you get Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, you know for sure. He's spitting more talk about hate. He's getting more talk about the hate he's getting since finding success. This is the era of popping the session, ended up on the song. Yeah, so those were my notes on it. But again, right, like this is a common thread in the album now. Like there's a lot of hate coming Mase's way. Absolutely. He's young, he's pretty, he's getting money. Yeah. There's skits on here about don't call my girl. So I said, stop giving my girl your number. He said, who's your girl? He said, don't worry about all that. Well, how am I going to not give her the number again? But I digress, man. How you feel about this song as a whole, though?
I think it's a hard joint, man. I think it sounds very much like this album, right? It's not one of the best records, but it's still a very strong joint. Dame Breeze produced it. Classic stuff, DMX, on and on and on. So I think it's a good pairing. Is it Mase's best work? Absolutely not. But I was wondering, like, why did he take a shot at Dame? Dame Dash caught a bullet.
So here's what my assumption is. I think that's a Harlem thing.
Well, first off, because we all know, like, Dame, I mean, first of all, we have our new episode is the 25th anniversary of Volume 1, right? Jay-Z, right?
Great episode. Make sure y'all check that one.
Amazing episode. That's our next episode. But while we were reviewing that album, we realized that Jay was also taking a lot of shots at Mase, right? The whole, your singles 99 cents for $1. I can match, match up triple platinum artist, buck by only my single going gold. Like those are shots worth throwing at Mase, right? So, but Jay's on this album, so it's interesting that not only is Jay on this album, but he says in his own voice, I rock with Jay, I don't fuck with Dame.
Right.
And I'm just wondering, I guess we'll get some clarity from our guest, but.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what I assumed, again, was that was more of a Harlem thing and not a Dame Dash that we know from Rockefeller, but Dame that came up with all of them. Obviously, Cam and Dame known each other for years, and I just think that might just be some Harlem shit. But
okay.
Let's bring our guest.
Stop. You gotta stop. I know you do. Stop.
Let's bring our guest up though, B. DDot is here, y'all.
So not only is DDot a legendary producer, not only is he the executive producer of this album, he also is the mad rapper.
Yeah, I'll get to that. We'll get to that.
DDot.
First of all, I'd like to shout out everybody that came to support.
For sure.
To earn.
Thank you.
For sure.
Harlem World. My man B, my man T, and your man D is here. Let's do it.
BDT, let's go.
DDot, take me back to 97. We touched on this earlier in the conversation, but unfortunately, Big is no longer here. The flagship artist of Bad Boy. There are other artists on the roster, but Big is big. Big is one of the biggest things in the game. It's a huge void left. And now you got Mase, who was already there and primed to go, but now the full entire spotlight is on him, and you're tasked with the responsibility, or maybe you take the responsibility of making this album. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, how did you become executive producer?
So by 97, I had earned my stripes by doing things. I made Puff some money, and he just saw something in me and said, hey, particularly after I made some music, he said, I want you to come on board Bad Boy 96, and one of the artists, when I came, that he signed while I was there was Mase. Mase and I didn't click the first time I met him. I'm Brooklyn, he's Harlem.
Chill.
That was a real thing. It was a real rivalry.
We super Brooklyn up here.
When I met Mase, when I heard him first, I was familiar with the Children of the Corn, but when I met him, he was in full-fledged Mase form.
It was very shiny, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, it wasn't shiny.
Not a Vaseline?
It wasn't shiny. It was Muhammad Ali style. It was, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was like, hey, I'm here to make all of y'all, everybody okay. You just follow me. I'm the new.
Wow. You know what I mean? Wait, hold on. This is 96?
This is early. This is,
So he's like this while Big is signed to Bad Boy as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. This is interesting now.
This is why he's signed. Because there's a glimmer of light coming off him when he walks in the room. But I'm Brooklyn style, so I'm kind of mellow fellow. Like, while we in this walls here in the studio, let's take all that costume shit off and let's get to work.
Yeah.
So it didn't click right away. It was a couple of,
a couple rounds. Y'all went a couple rounds.
Yeah. And then I realized because I did so well with Big and Puff, it was like, okay, I know what I got to do. He don't realize that I was him in the 90s. So by the time I was with them, I was treating them like, y'all niggas don't, even Big, y'all don't even know how good y'all got it, even though it ain't good. It was better than mine.
I hope y'all caught that. I hope y'all got that.
I hope that ain't go over your head.
Yeah. But it ain't mine. It ain't my time. So I'm going to show y'all how to really, really grind. You know what I'm saying? So
Bars.
when me and Mase had that one-on-one in the room, when I realized that's what I needed to do, the whole shit changed and he became the valedictorian.
What was the temperature like for the Mase project? Obviously, it was heavily and highly anticipated. You already had success on records, and y'all needed something to pop, right? They needed to see what Bad Boy was going to do once Big was gone. So what was
We had the transition. The transition was Puff's album. Okay, we need to keep
No Way Out.
No Way Out. That was the transition album, which was a great album, by the way. But that was the transition to secure Mase. The stuff we did with Big and 112 and all that was cool, but it still was no guarantee that we was gonna jump off and do pop numbers. So Puff's album was like, okay, let's put the nail in the coffin for Bad Boy, for the Hitmen, and for the next 3-4 acts we got coming. The piggyback game is in full effect. Guest appearances, remixes, we in-house. So, you know, I want to say something real quick about the niggas want to act, we can act.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout you out. Here's why. Mase shouts my name out at the beginning of the record.
Right.
So people think I produced the record. Technically, I didn't produce the record. Grease produced
Dame Grease.
Right.
But technically, I produced the record.
Right.
So
Break that down, but that
So-
needs
so-
to be broken down.
So what I'm saying to you, who Deric Angelettie was to Bad Boy, to the Mase album and all that, and this is an apology, but also an explanation. All we needed was them guys' beats, some of them.
Right.
And we'll take it from here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hitman shit. Yeah.
I got it from here.
It's a difference between a beat maker and a producer.
Absolutely.
Right. So when
Absolutely.
they saw it, some of them, not all of them, and this is no disrespect to no producer because they know I respect them all because I was on that grind. But sometimes those words produced by don't always mean that.
And especially when it comes to the Hitmen, because
Especially when it comes to
Hitman-
Deric Angelettie, B.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Who the leader
Let's
of the
focus,
Hitmen,
let's
right?
focus.
But I'm saying
Let's
you
focus.
guys were
Yeah.
incredible. The thing is, they call you guys a production team, but I always felt like you guys were hip hop composers.
I appreciate
The
that.
elements that you guys added to it, like
For
that's
sure.
what made
For sure.
Somebody's Gotta Die. That's what made, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's what
Right.
those elements is what made those songs classic.
So a lot of songs you hear on here, for example, the Pharrell song, Why You Here Looking at Me, right? They walked in with that joint. Pharrell walked in and Chad, they walked in and popped that, and by the time they got to maybe number 2 or 3, we was in there like, oh shit. But it was them on it.
Right.
It was them. Like, damn, I was like, damn, these dudes are fire. We already had some run-ins with them with Total, and then, you know, they had did the well, that was after.
Yeah, that's
But
later.
prior to Mase, they had already was on with Total. They had already did the shit with Dr. Dre. So by the time they came to us, these dudes had, like, they were the Hitmen, but just 2 of them. They had the beats, they had the hooks, they had the instrumentation, and they had a sound that was like, aye, we need that. Thank you. So as an A&R, my ears listening to what the Hitmen don't do.
Right. There we go.
Okay, so whatever we don't do,
Adding on.
I'm going to fill in them gaps because there are people that like this type shit. So let's grab that, even though, and then, you know, obviously, once we grab it, then your man Sean hears it and says, oh, I need to be on that.
But Torae, you see what he said?
That's a reoccurring theme with your
Tor,
man
you see
Sean.
what he said though, Tor? Like, you know, there was so, you know, with this game, right? When something hot drops, the thing with the industry is always to copy that. What he's saying is we were looking for what we don't do.
Different shit.
That's rare.
Right.
That's why
Yeah,
that's why they're rare.
That's the era, though.
But that's the respect. That's the respect. And our ears had to receive it the right way. Because I could have said, oh my God, I'm only listening for New York. I'm only listening for
Right,
Philly.
right.
But nah, they came with some shit. I'm like, oh my fucking God, who are you niggas? You know what I'm saying? So
What is
so
a
for
Pharrell?
us, it only adds on to what we're doing. There was
Right.
no takeaway. The same way Bone Thug added on to us. So as an A&R and as an executive producer, so how I became the executive producer was because I had did so many things prior to 96 that Puff said, yo, I need you to come and work for me and take this over and help run the show. So my roster, and then once we, you know, hear some things, I was the one with Mary J. Blige on the bus on the road when Jamarco, her cousin, played us the Locks demo. They were called the Warlocks, and it was just Jada and Sheik. If I recall, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I believe Styles was locked up for a hot second at that moment. And then I'm right. And then when he came home, he added on. When I heard them on the bus, on the road, I said, holy fuck, they sounded like Cold Crush meets just a bunch of solo MCs, Kane, G-Rap, LL, it was just holy shit. And so boom, now my roster says Biggie, Mase, LOX, and Black Rob was signed before all of them.
Robbie, rest up to Black Rob, Banco Pop.
We're going to get to Black Rob, too.
By the time we get to 97, Mase is he's on the board.
Yeah.
He's at the top of our to-do list. And we have a list of things that we need to accomplish. Mase is not the Locks, even though he can be.
Right.
Right.
Mase is not Will Smith, even though he can be. We had to find that happy balance for Murder, because Murder will tell you, and y'all heard wow stories. When he came in there, he wanted to spit like LOX, like BR, like Big.
Boy, he did.
But when he walked in, I wanted my daughter to date him. You know what I'm saying? It was like, So it was like, fam. So the one-on-one conversation was about direction. Yeah. He lost the Benjamins type of beats. He lost those.
Right.
Hold on. He spoke about this, right? He said he would lose a lot of beats while recording this album. Beats that he thought were his.
Benjamins was never his. I'm just saying to you.
More money, more problems.
More money, more problems. He walked in with the record.
Right.
And asked Stevie to loop it up for him. Stevie looped it up for him. Puff came in and said, oh, my.
Drop your backwards. Look at Brooklyn. Drop your backwards, bro.
To my daughters, I love you.
Are you really from Brooklyn if when you dance, backwoods don't fall out your pocket?
Once we got in the room and he understood the mission, he became the valedictorian. So now it's just a matter of picking the beats, concept-wise, and the times we in, because his flows was bananas. All right?
Facts.
Flow-wise, the copycats that came later.
Facts.
Be nice. This is a nice family show.
And the one thing about them 6 dudes, Big, the Locks, Mase, and Rob, was that there was nothing the same between the 6 of them.
What a fucking roster.
Woo! The Bulls. You said it, Tor. The Chicago Bulls.
The New York Yankees.
New York Yankees.
27 championships.
Doc said keep it very New York.
Yeah. So Murder had to step up in a way where he wasn't going to be big. We didn't ask him to be big. Big was big. There's no other. Murder, you got to be Mase. We taking the Murder off. We dollar signing you, and you're going to show them dimples.
You're going to get the money.
And we're going to go get this money. But at the same time, with all the records, we're going to let a lot of these people know that if they try to test you,
Right.
let them
the bars is there.
Have it.
Right. And that's what I said early in the conversation. I think that this album was a great marriage of the street shit that I'm sure he came in wanting to do and the records that needed to be made to continue to do what y'all needed to do. I think you did an incredible job of making sure that balance was felt.
Appreciate that.
We were just talking about
so $5 mil, right?
Niggas want to act back then. I think it was
the album
$5 mil?
Close to $5 million.
Yeah, back then it was like 4 something, but shit.
I think it was like 4.8.
But streaming and all of that now, I still play. Well, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to give away what my score is gonna be. But tell us about Niggas Want to Act real quick. This Busta Rhymes chorus. If you have any recollection of how it happened and why it happened in the way it did.
Busta will tell you one of his methods was. God bless my nigga Busta, yo. Because
God bless our nigga Busta.
One of his methods of becoming who he became, the iconic Busta Rhymes, was he would just show up. That's our era.
Just bust through the room like Kramer.
Not busting the room on some disrespectful shit. Call niggas up, yo. Y'all working? What y'all doing? What they say? I'm gonna pull up. But that nigga pulled up every motherfucking way. That's just who he was.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
So when you got him in the room, you abused the privilege.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's great.
And we did.
So why was he under the hook?
Because we wanted you to talk about it 25 years later.
Ah, he's smart. He's smart, ladies and gentlemen. He's a sharp one. This DDot. I mean, we're halfway through the album, but when the album does what it does, when it's as successful as it is, when Mase becomes who Mase was destined to be, what's the energy around you at the time as the guy who made it all happen and put it all together?
I'm a very humble dude, man.
Too fucking humble.
Yeah, but I was
That's another day, another podcast episode.
In hindsight, I wish I would have said, yo, shout me out, shout me out. So Mase shouting me out is because not only is I was in the room, but I was working. So when niggas want to act, Buster comes in. Buster is like, okay, Buster's energy from one is that at the end. So we didn't need that. Murder does his thing. We let it build up. Let it build up because nobody was doing that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure. It's
so
brilliant.
it's just sitting in the room just trying to be bad boy, trying to be ingenious, trying to be ahead of the curve. We studied everything, so for all those guys that thought we were sitting on some island, we listened to everything. Loud records, Duck Down records, Death Row records, Rap a Lot records, Around the Corner records, whatever it was.
Swab House.
We was in there listening. And the Hitmen, our squad, we was in there wilding. So go ahead. I'm sorry. I went off on a
No.
You good, bro?
Normally I like to steer the conversation, but certain times you just gotta let it.
Get busy.
You just gotta let it rock.
Let God walk in the room.
Hard to earn.
Before we get back to Mase, though,
Yeah.
because I'm talking my personal history, right? Like I'm a student of this thing. According to my memory, the first time I ever heard a Kanye beat was on the Mad Rap album.
Nah, I mean that's not the first time he was published.
No, I'm saying the first time I heard.
Yeah.
The first time I saw Kanye West in production credits.
Yes, he went to the Angelettie school. Yes,
for sure.
Which
this is 1999.
Right.
Yes. No. If you saw the documentary, which I'm sure y'all did, it starts off in 1998, and it starts off in Atlanta. Okay, and he's with Mase.
Right.
Okay.
But that wasn't the start.
Well, if you just take a second now that I'm sitting here, you have to ask yourself, well, how did he meet Mase? Just for a second.
Just
They're in Atlanta.
Just ponder.
And obviously, in the video, you could tell that wasn't the first time they met. So that was because of me. I actually managed Kanye. I'm sorry, I wasn't even talking to the mic. I actually managed Kanye from 98 to 2000, before Rockefeller. I'm actually the one who introduced him to Rockefeller.
See?
So
I couldn't let that go, man.
So Hitmen documentary coming soon, by the way.
Hey. Are we
Necessary.
filming? Are we
Necessary.
filming?
Is this thing on?
Are we filming?
Yeah. So he had already made his name in Chicago, but nobody knew him here.
Right.
So I put him under the arm and took him around. So he meets Puffy and Mase and Jermaine Dupri and Pete Rock, and he meets all these people. He's in the room with them. He's dropping off beats. I meet, God bless her soul, I meet Miss Donda.
Yeah.
She moves him to New York because of me. He wasn't at Rockefeller yet. You remember, he was still trying to get their attention.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
He was in Jersey then, right?
Are we listening? Do I got to preach?
They're talking crazy in the back
If you're a
of the room.
Kanye fan, he said that he was in the room with Jay-Z one time, and he was afraid to give Jay-Z direction. Now, when he came into the room with DDot, he saw how that went. How the producer at them days would take control of the room. I'm the one who was getting the calls. So if an artist wants a beat from Deric Angelettie, I don't have to call Bonsu. I don't have to call Torae. I can pick up my hands and get on the drum.
How about it?
Oh shit!
How about it?
I can get my niggas to boom, 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 that. But
composed.
Because I was set up a certain way, I decided to set my niggas up a certain way. So if I'm getting a call from, let's just say, Jermaine Dupri, I might say, hey, Kanye, you got something for him? The call is my money. Have we started that? Have we got that down? That call is whose money?
That's your money.
Whose money is that?
Right. Deric's
so then
money.
I decided to share my money.
Break bread.
And then we're going to co-produce the record. You're going to get your money. I'm going to get my money. You're going to get your credits. I'm going to get my credits. That co-ghost production
Clear this shit up.
Was disrespectful. The call is for Deric Angelettie's magic. I included you in on my magic show.
The magic show.
We're going to cut this bitch's head off together.
Yeah.
Exorcism.
Am I clear?
Very. Crystal.
So understand the Deric Angeletti role in a lot of things that you don't necessarily hear because of the humility.
A humble giant, ladies and gentlemen.
But when I get in front of the camera, the story will be told. It will be told adequately. It will be told eloquently. But it also will be told truthfully.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Y'all make some noise for DDot. Goddammit. This is hard to earn. We don't play no games. Let's talk about it. B feels so good.
It does.
It does.
It
is aptly titled.
It does. It really does. It really does.
Can we get it? Can we get the conversation down, y'all? We just want to finish up. We just want to finish up the album. We just want to finish up the album. Thank you. Feel So Good is a very appropriately titled joint.
Absolutely. I mean, it does feel good. I feel like this song was the if there was a single for the soundtrack to the Shiny era, this was it.
It's the poster child.
Yeah, this was very much it. It was especially because of the video, right?
Right.
It's glossy, it's glitzy.
It's Vegas.
It's Vegas. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any glitzier than Vegas, right?
Right.
But also, again, like it gives us everything that we loved about Mase, right? In the Mase era, like you've got Puff taking the classic, sample, imbuing into this record. Mase is still not taking any bars off.
Nah, right? He's going.
He's having fun. He's smiling. It's not dark.
He's dancing.
He's dancing. You know what I'm saying? Up under the lights. You know what I mean?
Right.
Has the shiny suits, all of that. So this is like we say, right? This will be in the Mase Museum.
For sure. It's definitely in the Mase Museum. We love the sample. We love Hollywood swinging already. You cannot sit still when this record is on. You
can't.
Like you can't. You gotta move. You saw the movement.
Mainly your shoulders, because it's Harlem.
You gotta give them shoulders. And
mainly
like
your
you
shoulders,
said,
it's Harlem.
There's no bars taking off either. Like Mase is spitting. He's spitting on the joint. One time you had it all. I ain't mad at y'all. And then give me the catalog and show you how Daddy bought.
Ooh.
One of my favorite bars. One of the lines I thought was.
What's your favorite?
One of the lines I thought was most witty was simple, but very, very witty.
Okay.
I'm the reason they made the dress code.
Ooh, go ahead.
They figured I wouldn't wild when I'm in my fresh clothes.
Ooh, break it down, Tor.
That shit was
why is that line fire? Break it down.
It's just so simple. Like, also, during this era in the club, right? Club era, there was a dress codes. Right. I mean, there's still dress codes at certain events, but there was a dress code. Yo, you can't get in with a hat. You can't get in with Timbs.
Yeah.
You gotta wear, you can't wear athletic wear and shit like that.
Right.
Mase says, I'm the reason they made the dress code. They figure I wouldn't wow, because you know what happened at a lot of hip hop events and shit.
Yep.
People will wild out a little bit sometimes.
The dudes dressed like the Shook Ones video,
right?
Gonna fuck your party.
They might hit you with that Hennessy bottle.
Exactly.
What did you give Feel So Good?
I gave Feel So Good a.
You ain't got to scroll, nigga.
I want to make sure because I think
he's scrolling for theatrics. He's scrolling for the camera. You know what you gave it.
I smoke a lot, so I want to make sure I'm accurate. I gave it 8.5.
8.5. Yeah. Wow. Why would we take a 1.5 off?
Because I mean,
he's an Aquarius.
Wait. Is that what you said?
Now let's get through the episode. Come on.
I took 8. Well, because this is not one of. I don't think it's not my favorite Mase song. Number one, and again, when you sample, like that's great, right? There's definitely art in sampling. But when you take those big, big huge hit samples, it does take away from the original production, the Pete Rocks and the Q-Tips, the Nasheems, the D-Dots, like with the shit that the D-Dot was talking about.
Right.
Taking that big, a big Diana Ross sample or a big, Aretha Franklin sample, whatever that may be, it's a little easier than it is creating an entire beat from scratch. So there's points deducted from that.
I mean,
that's where I come from.
I do feel that, but also like if everybody could just loop up Diana Ross and make a hit, a lot of people would do it. I gave Feel So Good a 9. It's definitely in the Mase Museum. It's a great record. The hook in 2022. You know what I'm saying?
That too.
It loses a little bit, but it's still a great record.
But when you hear this hook today, it's a part of our soundtrack.
I still dance immediately.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah. Can we proceed? Let's go. Let's get to this. What You Want featuring Total. Another single off the Harlem World album.
Big single.
Big tune. A little bit for the ladies.
Big single.
Shout out to Total, man. One time for Kima, Keisha, and Pam. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Omar Epps, You won, bro.
You won, bro. You won.
Classic formula.
Kanan's father won.
Yeah. Officer Howard. I got classic formula, pardon the term, very much chick record, radio-friendly sample, R&B hook, and relationship verse, relationship talk throughout the verses. You can't lose with this formula in that era. The sample feels good. Mase is milky on the shit. Ooh. Total sounds incredible.
Pam's voice was so special, man.
Oh yeah, so unique, man. So unique. I mean, I say this shit, and I don't want to be like the old dude all the time, but like the unique factor is what I miss the most about where music is right now. So much shit feels and sounds the same. You could listen to a bunch of shit and not know the artist changed or the song changed, but when you heard Total, it sounds totally different from when you heard SWV. That sound totally different from Jade. That sound different than
Escape.
In Vogue.
Yeah,
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Everyone was unique and shit, but back to your point, man, Pam's tone was amazing on the record. It's just a fucking beautiful record.
It's a great record. It was his, I think this was this the third? No, the second single.
Second single.
I remember the video. Total looked amazing in this video, actually. Amazing.
Per usual.
Yeah, he looked amazing in this video. And again, that's the thing about Mase, right? It's like you can hate on him all you want, but he didn't really take any bars off this record either. He's super laid back. He's killing it. You know what I'm saying? He's giving it he's telling Shorty, like he's trying to meet her. He's still a piece of shit, but he's compromising with her. You're my favorite though.
I ain't gonna ask who smashed the E-Class. Yeah, I'm gonna. If you pull up to the crib with the E-Class smash, I want to know what happened. What do you mean I ain't gonna ask who smashed the E-Class?
We also might be over at that. You know what I mean?
I suppose. Anything else you want to say before we get to the rating?
I just think this is one of those. This is one of those Mase songs that's in the Mase Museum, man. Big tune, man.
I gave it a 9.
You give it a 9?
Yes.
Gave it 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
I told y'all at some point y'all was gonna fuck with me. I told y'all, right? I be knowing shit. Yeah, man. Feel So Good is definitely on the first floor of the Mase Museum and definitely at a 9.
That's such an Aquarius.
As we continue on with it.
I got Mase songs I love more than this. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Yeah.
There are also really great skits on this album as well, man. The skits.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, Tor. Because I actually think the term Becky for white women came from this album.
What's up, Becky? Yo, he said it with a capital B.
Becky. Are you in Harlem right now?
Are you in Harlem? Where the abandoned buildings are?
Wait, with Apollo? Hold on.
Nah, that's not my favorite one. You know my favorite skit.
Which one?
Wait, so in a former life, I was a dirtbag. The fucking cold waiting skit. I was like, why is he blowing up the spot?
We didn't get to that yet.
I know, but we talking about the skits.
Okay, all right.
Yo, when he clicks over and says, "Who the fuck is Arion?"
He starts the video with that.
It's amazing.
No, the video for this song starts with that skit.
I thought you was talking to your mother.
Yo, I gotta go swim with my brother. I'm sorry, Lisa.
You can tell he was lying. He was like, yeah, because I gotta go.
He lied to the girl.
Wait, let me get my shit off. Okay, he was like, yeah, because I gotta go do something with my brother or something.
my brother.
You don't sound convincing at all,
You sound like
sir.
you lying. You sound like you lying.
Also, there's that, and then also, my other favorite line is, I'm gonna be in front of the building.
That was classic though. That's back in the days though.
That's where I would meet them.
That's
at,
where you meet them in front of the building. Yeah, you don't take the elevator to go pick her up. She meets you in front of the building.
You meet me in front of the building.
The tenement. Yeah, you know.
I was going to various projects, risking my life.
Man, let's not even talk about that.
Meeting them in front of the building.
Don't tell my mother.
Let's get to Cheat on You, featuring 112,
Woo,
Caesar Leo,
woo,
and Jigga Man.
All-star cast.
Jay-Z.
You say bad.
Go through it.
I mean, I don't love this song.
You don't love this song?
I don't love this song. Mainly because of the production. I thought it's because this album gives so much beat-wise. This song does not. It's a weird mix-up. Like, you know, I mean, the topic is original, but then you got like 112 on it. Like, why wouldn't he cheat on you? Like, why are we talking about this? Like, you're saying every girl, if you meet a girl who has a man, you take her, she's automatically gonna cheat on you. I get it. In the grand scheme of things, macro level, it's a possibility, right?
Yeah,
but like,
you lose them how you got them. We know that.
Right, but it's not a science though, right? So again, but also, mainly, right, speaking about the song, he gets outshined on his song. Like you're talking about the Little Kim record, right?
Right.
He gets outshined on this record. Little C's has a better verse than Mase on the song.
C sounds great.
Right, he also didn't write it.
Shouts out, bro.
He also didn't write it, so right, that's that, right?
Yeah. C sounds great.
And then, Hov, who's your rival in 97, busts your ass on your record.
Yo, so my question is, why is Jay-Z on this record?
I said that at the beginning. That's the beginning of the episode.
Why?
Rewind the tape. I said it at the beginning of the episode.
Why is Jay on? Well, it's in my notes, and it's before you said that.
Yeah.
So because Volume 1 drops a week after this. Yeah. I went back and did the Google.
But also, Jay-Z been murdering 97 the whole summer though.
Of course, right?
So, yeah.
But Jay-Z is
who you with?
Going into his second album, and it drops a week after this, and obviously there's some rivalry there. Why does Jay-Z, and this is really a Jay-Z, why does Jay-Z decide to be on this album?
Because Jay-Z is a smart businessman. And he knew that Biggie's gone, Bad Boy is the hottest label on the planet, and the #1 artist on Bad Boy is Mase. So I should be on that album.
He wasn't hotter than Mase, though.
He definitely wasn't. And at that point, he absolutely was not. Absolutely not.
But he was better. And everybody knew that. Okay.
Better, hotter, two totally different things.
Not totally different.
Let me see. Let me just go through my notes real quick. What did you
proceed.
give Cheat on You?
Oh my God, this is crazy. Are we finished reviewing? We finished reviewing it?
We have to be finished reviewing it because y'all want to fucking go off on tangents. What'd you get a record?
He said a 30. Isn't that funny? 7.5.
7.5. I gave it an 8.
Give it an 8?
Yeah, 8.
Okay.
Solid joint. I mean, Jay-Z.
What didn't you love about it?
What didn't I love about it? It was just a cool joint. It was a cool joint. I mean, they were better. I think there were more standout tracks on the project. It's the Mase album, but Mase gets outshined on the song, which you got to deduct points from that. And it's just it's kind of an odd song. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got into the subject matter, I understood it, but it's just weird to me, especially with the features on it. You know what I'm saying? With C's and Hov, but yeah, Hov went crazy on that. He was a very, very bad influence on my life.
He said, by morning, I turned into Shirley Murdoch.
Fam, that's
I
the best.
hope the door slam locks.
Fam,
are you crazy?
I told you I learned so many of my treacherous ways.
What?
And still, I'm not a billionaire. It's fucking bullshit.
This is crazy, bro.
24 hours to live.
I don't think they get the Shirley Murdoch, bro. It's crazy, man.
No, he said we could lay for the night, but in the morning, I get Shirley Murdoch. I hope your door slam lock. I'm going.
I'm going. Shirley Murdoch. As we
lay.
Look it up. It's a great record. Anyway.
Cheating. It's a cheating record too.
Yeah, cheating.
We got a couple more, and this is a special one, and I definitely want y'all to tap in on this portion of the conversation.
Ooh. Can we please play this?
We can definitely play this. I want to say rest in power to DMX. Make some noise. I want to say rest in power to Black Rob, Banco Pop, Robbie O. We got the Locks. Woo. We got Black Rob. Woo. And we got the late, great DMX as well.
And everybody does their thing.
Wait, but before we even get into the fact that everybody kills it, what a dope concept to rap about.
You know who gave them this concept, right?
Who's that?
Biz Markie gave this idea to Mase.
Talk that shit. This is why this is hard to earn. You're going to learn you something tonight.
Yeah. I mean,
damn, rest up to Biz Markie, too.
I mean, so Mase sees Biz Markie in Harlem one day, and of course stands out, right? Because, he's seeing Biz Markie for the first time. He goes up to him and starts doing the dances. Right?
One thing about Mase, that nigga gonna dance, yo.
But Bismarck, who's usually, he can be a bit of a goof. He starts getting serious. Like, no, like I love your ability, to love your talent. You know, it'll be crazy if you got some more topical. So Mase is like, what kind of topics do you think about? He's like, imagine if you made a song called 24 Hours to Live.
Crazy.
And he took that to heart, went back to the studio, came in with the hook. Puff heard it and was like, oh, I'm going to be on this.
So like every other song, basically.
Right, but he only had like one long verse, and he couldn't come up with a second verse. And he's like, this is such a great concept. I need to make it bigger. How can I make it bigger? And boy, oh boy.
Big. Always love this record. Always love the concept.
Amazing.
Because for me, it gets you to thinking.
Absolutely right.
It made like, what the fuck?
The hook is perfect.
If you had 24 hours to live, just think. Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you screw? You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, they like that. Look at that.
And you know what the question is, B?
Ooh. There's a couple questions, but...
Who takes the cake? Who takes the gold medal?
I knew you were going to ask this shit.
I'm going to ask the room, too. 24 hours to live. You got some of the best rappers in the game at that point, and still...
Torae.
I see some... What?
Allow me to answer this with a bit of a skirt on, okay?
Okay.
I have a favorite verse, and I think what the best verse is.
I like that.
My favorite verse is Styles' verse. The best verse is DMX, though.
And once again, we agree. On both accords. On both accords. Yes.
All right, so what I love about Styles' verse, right? Because again, you know, Jada does this to us. He woos us with the flow. He comes in with the Nantucket and fucking all of that, right? But when you listen to Styles' verse, Styles not only talking that, like he gives you the visual. Yeah. He's telling you what he's gonna do with his mom, his school, but he always gives you street wisdom, which I love about Styles. Yeah. So I appreciate that. But that boy, Dark Man X.
I mean, X's voice, his energy.
That boy, Dark Man X.
His urgency. Like, because of the song.
He says goodbye to his mother fast. Tell her I love her. He gives him a quick hug.
There's urgency. The thing about it, right, and that's a good point, because the concept is you have 24 hours. That's not a lot of fucking time. His urgency on the record, he's getting through this shit. I'm going to take a lot of lives, but I'll cherish every breath. Like, he running through this shit. You know what I'm saying? Tell my mother I love her. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's urgent. Because the fucking clock is ticking. He sounds amazing. Yeah, definitely took the cake for me. Definitely had the best verse on the joint. Do y'all agree? Does the room agree?
Say hello to my little friend.
All right. Unfortunately.
You got to rank it, though. What did you give it?
What did I rank it?
What did you give it?
There's only one number that consists of two numbers that you could give it.
Fuck.
There's no fuck. There's a fucking 10. It's a 10.
Yo, why you making me be the bad guy?
I'm not making you do anything. What did you give it? If not a 10, 11?
I gave it a 9.5, man.
All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, get your coats.
Hold up, man. Hold up. I don't think this is shit that go home.
How you kick about his old shit?
It's my crib. How you gonna kick me out?
What did you take the half a point off for?
Because, bro.
Yeah. No. All right.
You trying to tell me that Sheik's verse is perfect?
Sheik sounds great on this.
That's not what I asked you.
I love Sheik's verse.
That's not what I asked you.
I love Sheik's verse.
Not what I asked you. Never asked you if you love Sheik's verse. I said, is Sheik's verse perfect?
I mean, perfect is relative.
Is it yes or no, Torae?
I gave the song a 10, so obviously
so
you know how I feel.
So you said yes then? You think
I fuck every verse.
Sheik's verse is perfect?
Yeah.
Every verse? Okay, cool. Well, that's when we disagree. I don't think Sheik's verse is perfect. Just because something is really good does not mean it's perfect, man. I mean, 9.5 is a great score. Sorry. Am I? You put this song. You put this song next to Band for TV. How's it rank?
If you put it against Band for TV, then I'm gonna, and I know we're in Harlem, then I'm gonna argue a Cam's verse.
What?
I'm gonna argue Cam's verse if we put it against.
So is Band for TV perfect?
It's a great record. Would I give it a 10? I gotta listen to it. You gotta listen
to Band for TV?
Yeah, because we're on camera, and this is a very critical thing. And there it is.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Let's move on.
We gotta go.
Hey, thank you.
Shut the fuck up.
He proved my point. Thank you very much. Okay.
Nah, it's a 10. It's a 10. I don't know why you took a half point off, but whatever. As we proceed,
Anyway.
let's go, B.
I Need to Be. This is a very, very uncomfortable record to listen to now. I Need to Be. It starts off with statutory rape.
Yo, that's the first thing I got, and I wrote that shit in all caps.
It starts statutory rape. It's
She was not 17, son.
I mean, you're talking. He followed her to school. That's not cool.
That's stalking.
That's cool.
We call that stalking.
That's not. He has sex with an underage girl and then follows her to school to find out she's underage. That's all wrong.
Yeah, you should have went about that day in reverse.
Calls his man who told her that she's of age, and his response is she had the ID.
She was not 19, son.
This is Torae, we were talking about we love getting back to 3-verse songs. This is a 4-verse song.
Yo, and it's bad.
That's consistently inappropriate.
Very much so. Wait, look, I got statutory rape. I got peer pressure. But I asked the question, what was Mase going through on this song? Like, what?
Because you put 4 verses on this, which means you got caught up.
What was he going through?
In the 3rd verse, not only is she holding out on you, right? He's holding out her virginity on you, right? Which is crazy. Your friends are putting pressure on you to have sex with her, right? And that's some PTSD on my end. But like, you're putting pressure, right? But then at the end of the 3rd verse, you find out that you eat her out. So now I'm like, oh, she's ahead of the game now. She's not as innocent as you make it out to be.
That record is going crazy.
This song is crazy. This song is insane.
Wait. The craziest part is that this is such a poor usage of a Monifa feature.
And Chucky Thompson production.
Rest in peace to Chuck Life, man. I love all of the elements of this song.
I know, on paper.
Yeah,
on paper.
It didn't quite curl.
This is so bad.
It didn't age well at all either. And we love everybody, and of course, we got to be honest here because this is hard to earn. But yeah, that was a hard listen in 2020.
It's hard. This song is hard to listen to.
It's a hard listen.
Yeah.
I gave it a 7. I gave it a 7.5.
I gave it a 7.
You gave it a 7? I gave it a 7.5.
7.5 is generous for rape.
I'm Reezy DeGeneres. You bring it down? It's a little high. It's a little high for statutory. I apologize. It's a 7. It's a 7. Now you know what?
Hold up.
I'm gonna keep it a stat. I'm gonna tell you what the other half came from.
Nowadays.
Wait, let me talk my shit. Yo, 97 Monifa was so fucking fine. Half a point.
She was also legal.
Half a point.
Nowadays, you gotta know a bitch's age.
Every day.
Because they ass is real fat when they going through that phase. You mean puberty, sir? You mean puberty? Is that what you mean?
So you saying the Rob feature would have been more appropriate?
Moving on.
Exactly.
Moving on.
All right, one to hurt Mase. Let's go. We got 1.5 more songs to get.
Yeah, definitely 1.5.
One to hurt Mase. So I said that these last 2 songs with this and Jealous Guys coming after this, pause, is like Mase really speaking through the drama that he's dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's had success. We already know that. You know, like I said, we spoke about the money. We spoke about the flossing and shit, coming off the No Way Out. You know, he's really dealing with the ramifications and the elements that come along with success. Right. And it almost speaks to, obviously, what we know the story turns out to be. He leaves the game, you know, right at the release of his 2nd album. He finds God. He kind of gets out of it because shit got real. Yeah. Shit got real.
Shit got spiritual, yeah.
Shit got real. What notes do you have on this?
I don't like this song. I don't understand why it's on the album. I felt like it sounds like it's one of his original recordings.
Okay.
It sounds Rocky Mase, sounds like demo Mase. Mm-hmm. Of course, still well written, but like even his delivery is not it's not flawless like Feel So Good, or even like the Total record. Like it's. You said what?
You said Paranoid. You said it was Paranoid.
Paranoid. Yeah, I don't even get that. I don't believe this record. I feel like this record was written to be something. I don't really feel like he felt it, honestly, like that. Like, and that's where it comes off. So maybe it was real and he wrote it really early.
Hold on. We got one more. We getting through it.
Hold up, y'all.
We almost done.
So maybe he wrote this very early on in the recording phase. So like, you took like So it's like the execution was a little rocky. Maybe that's it. Because if it really sounds like demo early Mase, honestly. You know. Yeah, I mean, even freestylish. I mean, I don't even.
No, this was a flex freestyle.
Oh, this was a flex freestyle.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
And that's what I have in my notes. This is another one of the joints that, and it was. I don't remember what beat it went over.
It's three.
It went over Benjamin.
It's three verses. Too.
So you remember that classic Benjamin's Bad Boy session that happened up there? No. Who else went over the Benjamins? They went over something different. But anyway, yeah, Mase went over the Benjamins the first time I heard this verse. And so it was in my mind, it was married to that beat and it sounded a lot better delivery wise.
Right.
Yeah, man, this is, he's talking about the pitfalls of fame and we heard this shit before, but it's not one of my favorite joints. Would you rate it?
7.5.
You gave it 7.5?
Yeah.
So it's on you gave it a 0.5 point higher than need to be. Yeah. I only gave it an 8 because
need to be is statutory rape.
Sorry. I gave need to be a 7.5. So by virtue of that, I had to give this at least an 8. Thank you. I had to give it an 8 because
you graded the other song wrong.
Yeah. So I'm gonna drop need to be down to a 7.
Okay, now we go.
And I'm gonna drop this down to a 7.5.
The rape wasn't enough. This song did it. Okay,
relax,
all
right,
bro.
Okay.
Jesus.
Last song on the project, I didn't rate it. It's Jealous Guy.
You can't rate this song.
It's
a new edition remake.
No, I wouldn't call it a remake. It's a something. It's a new edition something.
It's an ode to New Edition.
I wouldn't call it an ode. A lot of people fucked with Jealous Guys.
This song comes from Big's Player.
Right.
Player Hater. When he did Player Hater on Life After Death a few months ago, and then they decided to do this again at the end of Mase's album. So I mean,
people be playing it though. Like you're never supposed to play it in real life.
None of my niggas played this, but I mean.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for yourselves for coming
Appreciate y'all.
On a Thursday at midnight at
Harlem.
At midnight, when the clock strikes midnight and it's 28th. It is the that Rihanna's dropping, but that's not what we're talking about. It is actually
next episode.
It is the 25th anniversary at midnight of the Mase album. So you were here celebrating 25 years later.
Yes.
Make some noise for yourselves.
Yes.
Thank you for coming out. Make some noise for Deric Angelettie as well. Make some noise for DDot, y'all.
You gotta earn it. Damn right.